Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I'm updating you on what I think is my favorite project pan at the moment. This is my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. This is update number 6. This month we do have some very exciting progress updates. I have 3 new pans to show you. I do believe I've cheated a little bit. This update is coming to you very late, so it's probably like about a month and a half's worth of progress. So that's why I do have those extra pans to show you. If you do want to see those new pans, then stay tuned. But before we get into that, if you are new around here, you want to keep up to date on this project and all my other project pans that I'm doing this year, then I hope you would consider subscribing down below. And without further ado, let's jump on into the video. So as I said, 3 new pans. I'm going to leave them for last. Before we get into those, I'm going to show you my updates on the ones that will be remaining in the project for another month. Here is a photo of the color story that I was working on in June, and let's get into the update. This month we actually have some new problem childs because I've done fairly well on trying to make some more progress on the shadow that's been in here the longest. So we'll talk about the problem childs first. Those both are these 2. So we'll start off with the Coloured Rain Queen of Hearts palette. Now the color that I did rotate in is Noble Woman, which is this one here. This one's so hard to show you because the palette design is so reflective. This one here, did I use it as an eyeshadow or a nail polish? I think I may have used it as an eyeshadow, but I've only used it once since the last update. So we're only sitting at 2 uses so far. So pretty dismal usage on this one so far, but I've still got 6 months left to go before the end of the year. So I'm almost certain we'll get there eventually. Just might take me a little bit of time. So that's that one. Only 2 uses so far on Noble Woman. Moving on to my Sugar Pill mini fun size palette. This one was rotated in last month and I rotated in the color Continue. So it's like this kind of grungy mustardy green down in the bottom corner here. I've only used this one once as well. And as you can see, some of these pans have like hard pan on them. So I do need to, you know, work a little bit more to get that hard pan off. Particularly Continue, it does have a little bit on there. There are some in there that have more hard pan than Continue, but it's just been a difficult color to work with the rest of the shadows that have been in the project. It just doesn't mesh well nicely with the rest. So in terms of trying to get usages on it, I can't just like throw it in the look because it doesn't quite work cohesively with the rest of the color story. So it's one that I kind of have to use by itself in an eyeshadow look. So it's been a little bit difficult. Only 1 use on that one. Like I said, 6 more months, we'll get there eventually. I'm just hoping that that shadow isn't too firmly pressed that it might take me a really long time to get through, but we'll see. We'll see how hard it is. You guys are joining me on the journey, so you'll get to find out as well. And then the last one that I need to update you on is the Troublemaker that's been in the project since the start of the year. That's my Melt shadow from the Lovesick stack. This is the color Fixated. This is kind of like a navy blue, kind of a grey navy blue color matte shadow from that stack. I am wearing it on my outer corner today. I also paired it with Baubles. Oh my gosh, Baubles. Baubles takes my breath away every time I use it. Baubles is the shimmer that I have on my lid, and I also used the matte navy from the Silent Night palette as well. I'm not sure what color that's called because Baubles is all that matters from that palette, but I paired the matte navy from that palette with this one because this one's a bit lackluster and I find it gets patchy really easily, so it was really nice to have that extra matte there to like vamp this one up a little bit or ramp it up a little bit. I think that we are starting to make progress, and like good progress to where I'm starting to feel it in my loins that we might be getting close to having pan. So we're sitting at 11 uses in total. I used this one 3 times this past month. I know. Oh my gosh, 3 times. Normally I only use it like once or not at all, but I use this one 3 times, which is amazing. There's definitely a really nice dip starting to go in there. I think that maybe once it's getting up to 15 to 20 uses, we might be seeing pan. It might be very close to the pan. So I'm very excited by that because this one's been in the project since the start of the year. Once I get this one done, then it would mean that like everything that rotated in from the start has been panned. At the moment, this one is dragging on. So that's my updates on those 3. The next 3, I have hit pan on the shadows that I rotated in. So that is the shadow from my Tarte Beauty palette, my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, and last but not least is my Kaleidos palette. So we'll start off with Tarte Beauty because it's been in the project for the longest. In this palette, I was working on the color Sequin Story. That's like the orange here that has the like chunky glitter in it. It's not my favorite shadow, but can you believe it? I used this one an additional 9 times this month. So I did finally get to the point where I figured out how I liked to use this one, and I was able to use it very regularly in like an everyday work makeup look, and it looked really nice, if I do say so myself. I still don't love that it's got that chunky glitter in it, and I would find myself like tapping my brush off to get most of that glitter off my brush, and that was quite effective. But I think doing that method helped me get through it a lot quicker and helped me hit the pan a lot quicker, because every time I tapped my brush off, I obviously was tapping some of the pigment off as well. So I had to go back in more regularly to get the color to put on my eyes. So I do think that tapping off method, just to get rid of that chunky glitter, was really helpful and assisted me to hit pan quicker. But I hit pan on this one with a total of 18 uses. I'm very happy to see this palette looking more used and abused. Every time I opened this palette, when I used this color, I would dip into other colors in this palette as well. So I'm very happy to see more wear and tear. There's like some dips in other ones. There's disturbances on like all of the pans now. So I'm very happy with how this palette's looking now, and then I have a pan on it. I actually really like this palette. There are a few dud shades in there that I wish the formula was different, particularly that like sequin row with the colors with the chunky glitter in there. But like the shimmers are beautiful, and the all matte shadows are really pretty as well. It's a really good palette. I really like it. These 2 palettes actually only came in last month, so I've made really good progress on these ones just in the one single month. Anastasia palettes normally don't take me that long to hit pan on. Normally it's like 1 month, if not, it's like a little bit into the 2nd month. The pan in this shadow, however, is quite small, but I'm counting it nonetheless. So I was working on, so this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. This was my chosen shade. So normally in my project, I will roulette 5 eyeshadows from my spreadsheet. I have a eyeshadow palette spreadsheet, and then I myself will handpick out 1 shadow that I want to work on myself. So I picked out the color Sienna from the Soft Glam palette. This was purely because I want to make sure by the end of the year I have at least 1 pan in all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. So I'm slowly working through my collection of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I think I only have 1 more left now that doesn't have a pan in it. So that's kind of in my sights between now and the end of the year. But I did manage to hit pan in Sienna, and you can see it right there. Like I said, it's only quite a small pan, but pan nonetheless. And I did actually really like pairing this one with the Tarte Beauty eyeshadow. I would put this one on the outer corner and I would blend the Tarte Beauty one like through the crease and then put a shimmer on the lid. So they paired really well together. I liked how they worked together. That one only took me 12 uses to hit pan on. And I think it was probably because I put it on my outer corner and like blended it into the crease a little bit with the Tarte Beauty one, and it did already have like a nice dip on it going. So pretty quick and easy on that one. In my Kaleidos palette, this is the Futurism 6 Lunar Lavender palette. I was working on the color Wisteria. Oh, this eyeshadow is gorgeous. I love this eyeshadow palette, but Wisteria is so gorgeous, and I use this a fair bit over the nail polish. I think between the months, I probably used it as a nail polish twice, so that's why, maybe 3 times. Because it's been about a month and a half, so I'd say probably like 3 times I used it as a nail polish topper, and it looked so pretty over the top of my nail polish that I have in my Team Project pan. And then I also used it as an eyeshadow a lot as well. So as you can see, there's the pan there right in the middle. I'm very happy that I have a pan in this one. And like I said, I really like this palette. It's a really pretty purple palette, and like the shimmers in this palette, I think they're so nice. I did find myself having to use my glitter glue with this one because I just found it was that kind of like chunkier formula that it really needed something to grip onto it for it to lay down on the lid. When I didn't have the glitter glue laid down on my lid, I just found like it wouldn't get off my brush. So I always laid down a little bit of glitter glue, and Bob's your uncle, it looked beautiful. That's another 3 eyeshadows in my collection that I have pan on. I'm very happy with my progress. I think that takes me to 14 pans in this project so far this year. So I am 2 ahead, which is very exciting because I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to be able to hit pan in like half a month because our update is so late. But I'm not quite sure whether I'll be able to hit pan in half a month. So we'll see how we go on that. That means that I need to handpick one myself to replace my Soft Glam palette, and I need to roulette 2 new palettes to replace these. So let me go grab my phone and bring up my random number generator and my spreadsheet, and we'll see what palettes we're going to rotate in. Now, I think I want to make sure that like for the rest of the year, I think I want to bring in palettes that don't already have a pan on them, because I want to try and get more pans across my collection, across like all of my eyeshadow palettes, rather than just getting a smaller number of palettes with lots of pans, if that makes sense. Because I just have been finding that when I bring in a new eyeshadow palette, I'm getting like more use out of the rest of the palette. So I think if I try and bring in palettes that don't have pans in them, it'll allow me to work on more of the palette. So that's kind of like my thought process. And so I have my spreadsheet in front of me here, and I have 144 options on the spreadsheet. And let's see what we get. Let me shake this one up. We have number 79. I have a feeling that I've got a pan in that one. I don't know why, but oh wait, no. So 79 is Kaleidos Futurism 2, which I believe might be the sci-fi green. That might be sci-fi green. I'm gonna have to double check that, but the first one is Kaleidos Futurism 2. I'm sure it might be sci-fi green, but I'll double check that. And then for palette number 2, we have number 28 coming in. Number 28 matches my Colourpop Yes Please palette. So I'm going to go grab those 2. I think I'm also going to grab the palette that I'm going to bring in to replace my Soft Glam. So, Yes Please and Futurism 2. I know why 79 sounds familiar now, because it's actually Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze, which means I actually had this one in the project last year. So I've actually, on the fly, decided I'm going to mix things up a little bit, because I have been thinking over the last couple of weeks that I wanted to try and bring back in the shadow from this palette that I had in the project last year and try and hit pan on it. So that's going to be my chosen shadow. I am going to bring back in the color Plasma. Now, Plasma for me last year was a total fail. It's this one here, the silver color in the middle here, but I'm going to give it another try. So Plasma is going to be my chosen shadow. I might have just shot myself in the foot. Who knows? Because that's going to take up my chosen shadow, I am going to bring in another random palette. So I'm going to roll again for another number. So let's see what we got. Number 69. So number 69, I'm not actually really excited about that either. Number 69 is the Tarte Beauty Alma palette. So I will grab that one out. We'll see how we go with it. I have the two random generated palettes. Let's see which shadow we get from each. So the Yes Please palette has 12 shadows in it, and we'll randomly generate a number for that one. And then the Alma palette has, I think it's 15. 2, 4, yes. Alma palette has 15 shadows in it. So we'll see. So for the Yes Please, we are number 8, which is this one here on the end, which I believe is GNO. This one on the back here. I think the color pop's opposite to the one on the front. I think that's how they go. And then for Alma, we have 1 to 15. Let's see. We are bringing in number 15. Oh, okay, I am going to roll again, because number 15 is like a matte blue, and I think it's just too similar to the one that I have in my, it's basically like the exact same color as the Melt one. So I am going to roll that one again, just because I don't want another color basically the same. It's just going to make it too hard to pan shadows. So we'll roll again. And that is number 10 here, which is called Roman, and it's a nice like shimmery, it's a nice shimmery blue color. So that's that one. Let me show you the other ones that I am bringing in. Actually, those two would look kind of cool together. So these are the 3 shadows that I am rotating in. I feel like I could actually do an eyeshadow look with these 3 colors. How good's that? I could actually do a look with those 3 together. So that's the 3 that I'm bringing in. So we have Plasma from the Kaleidos palette. We have GNO from the Yes Please palette by Colourpop. And we have Roman from the Tarte Beauty Alma palette. I am going to show you on the screen now my color story for July. It's a little bit more of a trickier color story for July, but wish me luck. I'm sure that I can make some decent progress on these new shadows. And I think that I have a color story that works a little bit better together than I had last month. At least these 3, I think I could definitely use them together. Wish me luck. I hope I can hit a pan by the end of the month. I've only got like half a month left to go, so we'll see how we go. I will update you in August and let you know how I go for the rest of the month. Let me know down in the comments box how you will use these shadows together. I'd love to get some eye look ideas from you guys, so let me know down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you are new around here and you haven't already and you want to keep up to date on all my future updates on this project, then make sure you are subscribed down below. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.